My fellow Americans, I have good news and I have bad news. The bad news is we didn't exactly get the president we wanted. At least, I don't believe we did. Although the American voters seem to think differently. You see, my reasoning is, if you have two main candidates that can't stop for 5 minutes and answer a question, and instead continue to bicker back and forth like children, they're not a candidate you want in office. But early this morning it was confirmed that Donald Trump will be ceding the presidency for the next 4 years. Yay. Now, on to the good news. The good news is, well, the good news is that we've gotten through it. A year and a half of bullcrap. Political ads every which way, everywhere. Lion Ted, Crooked Hillary, old as hell, Bernie and Trump, as I'll call him. And that's, you know, that's keeping in the theme of, hey, they all have nicknames. But we no longer had to deal with the whole bull crap about the elections between everyone. However, what do we do now? That is the question. Well, considering what Trump promised when he was running for the office of the presidency, he promised to A, build a wall, B, outlaw any terrorists, or in other words, Muslims coming into our country. He also vowed to basically throw Hillary in prison. That won't be happening, mainly because they're, according to both the FBI and the CIA, both branches say there's not enough evidence, not enough cause to prosecute. So, Hillary stays out of jail. Good. Another thing is that from here on out, we have to answer to a guy that up until now, the only thing he's ever run is businesses, and there are several that he's run into the ground. So, you know, he promised so many things that sounded so bad, but at the end of the day, you know what? He can't do half of what he said he was going to do, because there are safeguards in place to keep the president, no matter who the president is, from doing just about anything and everything he wants to do. Now, that granted, the president is the only one who was able to access the launch codes for the nuclear missiles. That worries me, because the codes for the missiles are never any further than maybe a yard or so away from the president at all times. This is public knowledge. That's the protocol. And so, for the president to have access to the nuclear codes, but also have somewhat of a questionable temperament, yeah, that can cause a bit of concern, I would say. But at the same time, so can a lot of other things. We have one of the best countries here in America And really, it's a wonderful place. You got wonderful people, you've got wonderful things. But at the end of the day, we have a responsibility, we have a duty to keep our government accountable. Why did we get Donald Trump elected? Personally, I think it's because too many of the silent majority or silent minority that say, oh, well, I don't want Trump, he's against blacks, he's against Mexicans, he's against gays, he's against all kinds of people. The thing is, they could have come out and voted. In fact, I don't think, here in Ohio, the turnout was great, but not enough of the Democratic Party was coming out. And so we ended up giving Trump the linchpin for any Republican to win. And that is, every Republican that's ever won the White House has won Ohio. And that's sad. I'm not saying Trump would be a terrible president. He may come out and surprise us all. He may have a very level head. He just may have been acting like an asshat for the sake of getting into office. Because frankly, like the old adage says, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So maybe he knew that popular opinion would sway depending on who had the loudest voice and the loudest protests. Granted, he could have toned down some of them, especially when it came to women and minority groups, but I digress. My hair's a bit brown today. Anyway, I wanted to say that I am very happy with how I voted. I voted for Gary Johnson. Obviously he didn't win, but I at least let my vote be known. He got like 3% last I'd seen. I don't know where he ended up on the polls after everything was said and done. It doesn't matter anyway. But it was kind of a close race between Hillary and Trump. I mean, for the longest time, they were neck and neck, and then all of a sudden Trump pulls ahead with, I think it was Pennsylvania. It was the one with 20 electoral votes, so whichever state that was, he pulled ahead with that state, and that was it. The story was told, and there wasn't any way for Hillary to catch up or defeat him, so that's when they finally, yeah. And really, I think if Hillary had focused more on the rural areas in places like Ohio and maybe Kansas or other areas, she would have seen a better turnout and a better opinion of her. But if you're hearing all the information about a candidate secondhand, or third hand, or fourth hand, you don't know what to trust, you don't know who to trust, you don't know what to believe, because really, if you're not getting it straight from the campaign people, you have nothing on the candidate. And I think the scene for the independent candidates needs to change as well, so they also understand that when it comes to campaigning for the presidency, you need to make sure that you advertise, because if you don't advertise, if you don't make it known who you are, where you're coming from, what your stance on the issues are, And that's where I mainly make my choices with the issues. But again, I don't want to complain about Trump being in office because we don't know what the future holds. Maybe, I hate to say it, I really hate to say it because of the way he acted, but maybe Trump is what we need in this country. Or maybe Trump is what this country deserves right now. Because the Bible says, when it came to the Israeli kings, the kings in Israel, there were kings that were very, very evil. But the thing is, God appointed those kings in judgment of Israel. And if Trump turns out to be a bad president, then he was placed in the office he was put in because that is God's judgment on us for falling away from his teachings, from his word. Not trying to be preachy, but that's just what I know from reading my Bible. And at the end of the day, it is all your choice. You can choose whether or not you want to be vote Republican, vote Democrat, vote Independent, vote Libertarian, vote... Hell, for the longest time I was thinking of just writing in Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck or something. Oh yeah, speaking of the Donald Ducks, I think that was another way that really ended up boosting Trump's campaign, is all the propaganda against him only really did one thing in the eyes of the Trump supporters, and that is it confirmed their commitment to Trump, because they saw the opposition against him, and so that confirmed to them that he was the best choice, because if everyone is against him, that must mean that he's with God or for God or whatever. That's not necessarily true. I don't know what his religious stance is. I hope I can find out. Although the way that he tends to act, it doesn't seem like he has much of a Christian background, just with the words he uses and the attitude he projects towards different groups. It may all just be my perception. I hope it is. I really hope it is. I hope that this election was not a mistake, but rather a better opportunity for America than what previously was presented. Anyway, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Yeah. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys have a great day. If this is the only video you watch today, if this is the only video you watch about the elections, just be mindful that Trump is not the enemy here. Trump is never the enemy. The enemy that we as Christians face is not flesh and blood. It is principalities, powers, beings beyond the realm of mortal perception that seek to harm us in the worst way possible by damning our souls to everlasting torment and everlasting suffering. We don't fight against men. We fight against the darkness within men. Not of our own power, but from God's light shining from within our hearts, these hearts of flesh that we've been given in replacement of our hearts of stone as sinners. We rail against the powers of darkness and the dying of the light in the way that the world is today. I see so much torment, so much anger in the world, and I just want to say, if there are any of you out there that have done things to hurt people, things that really have hurt people, I forgive you. I forgive you for what you've done. I love you just as Jesus loves you. And I hope that we meet in heaven one day. Be blessed. Be mindful of the truth. Be mindful of everything in this world. Be mindful of the people around you. Be a light to them. Be a light on the world as a whole. Don't allow having Trump in office or having a Republican Senate and House. Don't let that discourage you. Don't let that make you angry. Use it as a way to bring the gospel to those that don't know Jesus. Because when it comes to the end times, we are living in a day very close to, if not in, the beginning of the end times. And believe you me, I don't want to live there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to be part of the people that have to witness the torture and suffering of men and women in the days of judgment. But at the same time, if it is my fate to become a witness for those that are lost, if it is my fate to die as a martyr for the cause, I accept. Thank you for watching my video. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you guys had a great day. Yeah, I'm rambling. I'm going to end the video here. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Today's tremendous trinket from Amazon is the Jide Remix Mini, an Android-powered PC that has your standard HDMI output, Ethernet input, a couple of USB ports, 16 gigabytes of storage, a 2 gigabytes of RAM and 1.2 gigahertz quad-core processor, all of the functionality and apps that Android provides, and plenty of the functionality that Windows provides. This device is powered by the Remix OS, which is based on Android, but also looks, feels, and responds like Windows. It is one of the first truly Android-powered PCs. And I believe that for $55 and some change for shipping, this is a wonderful product for any of you out there that need an entry-level PC to start your YouTube channel, start your vlog, whatever. And you can do a lot with a little. So thank you for watching this video. Check out the Remix. In fact, it's a very interesting product, I believe. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more, click this link to subscribe and get notified of all my new videos. If you'd like to support me even further, click on this link up in the corner to go to my Patreon page and maybe donate $1 or $2. As always, thanks for watching.